Are you ready? It is your time to take a few moments from your busy day to unwind, be inspired, and listen to the psychic insights of your host, empowerment psychic, Hally, Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Off air, be sure to connect with Hally at HallyElise.com. And now, the Hally Elise Show.
Good evening, everyone. Miss Froggy has gone away and my voice has returned. I can tell you I am delighted. It was getting a little tough there for a while, and you might find it amusing, but I actually did 2 speaking engagements while I couldn't really speak. It was great, though. Everybody was amazing. And what it shows me and shows you is that no matter what's going on in your life, if you make a decision to do something, then ta-da, you do it. You make it happen. Give some thought to that for a moment, because oftentimes we think in terms of goals, and goals for a lot of us make us uncomfortable. The idea that we are going to challenge ourselves to become something bigger or greater than we think we are in the moment, we find daunting. The truth of the matter is, if you think it, then you have the ability to achieve it. One of these days, I'm going to look it up because I sometimes make reference to it. There is this gentleman who plays basketball, and he's very short. I think, if I recall correctly, he's something like 4'9", 5'1", something in that realm. And he's a success. I'm going to have to find the information. Or if you Google it and you find it, let me know, because I'd love to hear from you. I had read about it. It's got to be, wow, several years ago. You like that? But the idea, again, is what is your focus? What's your intention? When I taught over at Nova many, many moons ago, I taught meditation. I taught different types of mental modalities that you could implement in your life to make your life better. One of them was intention, attention, manifestation. And I used the acronym I AM. Intention, attention, manifestation. Think about that for a moment. First, we have to have some sort of idea of the direction that we want to go in. Then we have to truly allow ourselves to focus upon it, to give it attention, to look for it. And then it comes down to, once we've done the work, permit it to come into our world. And I'm going to give a funny example. You can have somebody who says, oh, I really wish I would meet a nice guy. I mean, I meet a lot of nice guys, but they're not the right guy. And, well, they're not the right guy because I want certain things, and they're not able to do those things. And it ends up that they have that particular person already in their life. But instead of looking at them as a boyfriend or as a husband, they look at them as a friend. And they keep them in that space very conveniently for an extended period of time and never even realize. So take a look around. What is your intent? What are you willing to give attention to? Know that you'll be able to manifest it. All right, I believe we have a caller on the line. Lisa? Yes. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Are you there?
I am. Good evening. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How about yourself?
Doing good, thanks.
Great. I know our guy in the room who answers the phone said you had asked, you were uncertain if we did calls, and I had to laugh because I plaster it all over social media, and inevitably, somehow it gets missed.
Okay, well, glad I took my shotgun.
I'm glad you did. Did you have a specific question this evening?
I just have lots going on. Kind of wanted to see what you might get as a feeling from me.
Okay. We are in, what are we in? We are in July. I'm going to backtrack and say tail end of May. It feels as if there was some transition that took place in your world. And what I'm getting to is a cycle actually starting right after the new year. It's kind of interesting, as if you were moving along smoothly and then all of a sudden there seemed to be some things out of your control and you went, okay, and I'll make an adjustment and I'll make an adjustment. And you continue to do that. Moving into May, going into the tail end of May, I feel like all of a sudden it was, wait, I can't just make an adjustment. I actually have to get more clear and make a change. That cycle that you started in earlier in the year, you're not complete with that yet. That's not going to be finished, I'm going to say, until probably August 3rd, August 4th, excuse me. It feels as if it is the first week of August. So what that tells me is a lot of the things that you are juggling, and I literally got a picture in my head of somebody taking the balls and juggling them in the air. I feel it's very apropos. Right. Those things, try to just take a deep breath and realize that you are doing as much as you possibly can right now. You've got to be patient and know that the first week of August, there is change. Things come back to more calm, more peace. The biggest thing, though, that I get right now has to do with your physicality. And when I say physicality, I'm referring to your physical being as well as your physical space. You definitely need to create more peace, more gratitude, more symmetry. That's the word I'm looking for in your physical space. And specifically, when you lay your head down to sleep. Because what I'm getting here is you take the chaos to sleep with you. That makes sense?
Sure.
Okay. The other thing is when it comes to relationships, and specifically romantic relationship, you can look at September, October, November, but I'm leaning towards November as actually being a prime time for a lot of joy, a lot of significant smiles, a lot of big hearts. But it feels as if there is this wonderful shift that you'll find romantically. Things are going to overshadow most of the other things in your world, but it's just a little bit later down the year. As to family itself, because I'm still sticking with relationships here, you're really good sometimes at saying no and other times not. Kind of important right now. Right? Pardon?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, would you be talking about my children?
Yeah, the whole please, 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 and you give in, not so good.
Right.
Do yourself a favor. Say yes to the things that you really want to say yes to and really stick to the no. And the things that you're saying yes to, give a condition. For instance, you know what, sweetheart, I said no because A, B, C, D, and E. If you take care of A, B, C, D, and E, then it's a yes. Create it so that you are a little bit more in control of the situation, because what I'm feeling is you just get tired and you say yes. It's like, you know what, I'm mentally exhausted. I have too much going on. So, okay, go ahead.
Very true.
Stand in that place of power for yourself, but it's not only for you, believe it or not, it's for them, because you will be setting an example for them on how to lead their lives. If you have the ability to stand in your own convictions, they will do the same. We don't realize how much our children are influenced by what we do or we don't do. And this is something simple. It's just a matter of recognizing that if you create that consistent pattern, then it gets easier, and it gets easier for everybody concerned. I'm going to say also, in respect to finances, business work, overall, I get also latter part of the year being a very abundant time. And I'm getting, I'll say from, it's interesting, November 12th. I don't know why that number specifically, but I get November 12th going into, I want to say February 15th, 16th as a nice little cycle when it comes to money. And that means you want to raise, that's the time to ask for it. You want to open up something new, that's the time to do it. You want to switch banks, that's the time. But I just get Midas touch. And that also means that if you want to make any sort of investment during that time frame, it's the right time. Don't let your fear stop you from making changes when it comes to money during, again, November 12th, going into February, I'm saying 15th, 16th, but February 16th.
Okay.
All right, my friend?
Great. Yes, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a beautiful night, and thank you so much for calling in.
You do as well. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. We started out this evening right away, and I was sharing about intention and attention, and this nice lady who just phoned, you heard in respect to me saying, stick to your guns. that really is something that we all need to do in areas of our life that we are waffling. And it's not that she waffles. I understand where she's coming from. She's in a place dealing with children who sometimes, like all children, want something. And even if you're tired or busy or your focus is somewhere else, they're kind of oblivious to that because at that time frame, they only see what is in front of them. If you expand upon this, though, let's take it out of the familial arena and look at social interactions. Are you going to dinner with friends and they always pick the restaurant? Why? Are you doing something at the office and you find that it's something that you're really not fond of, and yet somehow you are the one that ends up having to do it? Why? Challenge yourself a little bit. And I don't mean challenge in the sense of just make change and say, okay, I absolutely going to do it. That's it. No, what I'm suggesting truly is observe what's going on in your world. Where is it that you want it enhanced? Where is it that you want it to blossom? Where is it that you know in your heart of hearts that you have the ability to make that change? If nothing else, you make an attempt. That attempt opens your world to energies showing up to support you. I don't do a lot of speaking in respect to angels. You do hear me on occasion talking about universal intelligence or higher power. Obviously, angels are connected to that. Guides are connected to that. Loved ones are connected to that. We are never alone. And as much as sometimes it feels that way, we're not. There is always love and support to be found. But at times, we have to have the wherewithal to just say, I cannot do it on my own. I need guidance. A friend of mine who's really lovely years and years ago taught me something that has stuck with me. And it is, show me, teach me, guide me. Something real simple, right? Show me, teach me, guide me. When there's something that's going on and perhaps it's a little too abstract, or perhaps it's just not showing up in the way that I need it to. And it doesn't matter in what area of life. I get quiet. I go into that lovely space in between the spaces, and I ask. You can do that as well. And what's really interesting is you don't even have to get quiet. Let's say you're going to love this, because intuitively, I love when these types of things happen. You're driving down the street and you think you know where you're headed, but for some reason your GPS, I had this happen the other night, says go left, but left is a dead end. And you're thinking, yes, that's not going to take me to where I need to go. Instead, you say, where is it that I need to be? And you listen. And all of a sudden you just know with certainty, you're going to make a right there, you're going to go a little straight there, you're going to go left there, and there it is. But when you don't, you can simply say, show me, teach me, guide me. And you could do it that quick while you're driving in your head. If there's somebody else in the car, they don't even need to know about it. The point is, you have that power. I guess what I'm trying to get across, and I do this quite often in a lot of the programs, whether it is the Psychic Gallery, which I'll share a little bit more about in a moment, or it's even today, I was doing a presentation, which was really interesting, and it fits right into this. I'm not a salesperson. I have never seen myself as a salesperson. And when it comes to sales, if someone is pushy, if someone tries to convince me of something, has that my mind just went back to being 20 and the grief that goes along with others that are older and knowing better. I'll continue that in just a minute and explain where the intuition comes in. We will be right back with the Hally Elise Show. Stay tuned. This is your empowerment psychic, Hally Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HallyElise.com. That's HallyElise.com.
You have been listening to Empowerment Psychic Hally Elise, a top 100 psychic. She is your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. Your guide to peace and wisdom. For a private appointment off air, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Hally Elise Show with Empowerment Psychic Hally Elise.
I was talking about sales just before the break, and I wanted to get back to that and intuition all. But prior to that, I mentioned a gentleman who played basketball who was much shorter than anybody else. And luckily, during the break, I got that information. Tyrone Muggsy, I believe it's Bogues, and he 5'3", shortest in NBA history. So there you go. If you say you can't, you're correct. If you say you can, you have a heck of a chance to also be correct. Love it. Thank you. All right, then. Moving forward, just going back to what I started to say before break about the whole idea of being sold and being pushed. And I said that I was reminded about something when I was 20. I remember going into this lovely boutique and trying something on and looking in the mirror and thinking, ugh, you're terrible. Ugh. And the salesperson says, oh, honey, that's perfect for you. Now, keep in mind, the ticket on the item was around $300-400. And being a young person at that age, that was a little over the top for me. I was looking for something. That's what she picked out. I tried it. And when I tried to say to her, it's not really what I'm looking for. Oh, but I've been in this business for a long time, and I can tell you that that's what you need. No, doesn't work. And luckily, I allow myself to listen to my intuition. And what I hear in my head is, go over there on the left side. There's something just perfect. I found a sale rack, which had something that was like, I don't know, $100, $75, whatever it was. And it was perfect. It fit well. It did the trick. Bottom line, I get still for half a second just to say, this isn't right. What is right? And I was directed. Don't get caught up in why you feel bad. Don't get caught up in why it is not working. Allow yourself to focus on what is it that you can do right now to make a difference. I believe we have a Robert on the line. Hi, Robert.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you.
Did you have a specific question this evening?
Yes. I am scheduled to go on a short trip on Saturday.
Okay.
With with my ex-girlfriend, and
Okay.
This has been a troubled relationship, and so now she's insisting that we're going to go as friends. And I'm just wondering, do you think she's actually going to go?
My feel here is she definitely wants to go. The question is not whether she wants to go. The question is, do you plan on being intimate with her? And the reason I'm putting that out there
Yeah,
is
I don't
because
think that's going to happen.
I was going to say, it would not be a good idea. I mean, it might be fun for the moment, but long term, not a good idea.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. She, bless her soul, doesn't know how to get grounded by herself. And you were always really helpful for that. I feel like you kind of filled in those spaces for her. And she tends to be more high strung than you are. And it's really interesting. It's a very, when they talk about yin and yang, that's what you've got going with this gal.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to let go of me, but she doesn't want to be with me. She doesn't want me to be her boyfriend because she has commitment phobia or relationship issues.
Relationship issues. She's basically afraid that if she commits to you 100%, then you will change. Then you will not be the guy that she really cares about.
Right.
It would be lovely if you were able to say to her, honey, go for therapy. Obviously not exactly like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing because she wants to go to therapy and whatever, but
hasn't done it. She's not done the work. And here's the thing. All she really needs is for somebody to let her know she's safe. And it can't come from you, as crazy as that sounds. She trusts you implicitly. When it comes to big decisions, I feel like if she knows she can call you, you will be the first one to she picks up the phone to talk to. You're the one who, again, you are that grounding force for her. It's just her own fear that keeps her from allowing the two of you to progress forward in a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is why I say, as far as intimacy, at least at this moment, I feel like it would be bad for you.
Yes.
Emotionally is what I'm talking about.
Yes, emotionally, because I tend to jump the gun and think that, well, hey, now we're okay, so things are good.
Exactly. Now we're back together and everything's copacetic. Woohoo!
Boom. Yeah.
Not a great idea. If you can somehow guide her towards doing therapy, I truly believe within a year she would be ready to actually have a full-term, blown, long, lovely relationship, which is interesting because most people go for 10 years for therapy. They go to a myriad of different therapists and techniques, and I don't get that. I feel like she's just on the precipice, but she needs the right therapist to guide her, and she can't do it on her own, even though she thinks she can. And it's interesting, too, because I feel like there have been occasions where she has done a little of the work in the sense of bought a book, watched a particular program, and gotten very excited at the possibility of change. But she hasn't.
She has a healing gift with her hands. She's a massage therapist, and she has a lot of goodness in her.
Yeah. It's not that she's a bad person. It really is fear that's keeping her where she is. And what I think is really fascinating is she'll get involved with other guys that she knows she can just basically say, see you later to at any time.
Absolutely.
Where with you, it's heart-based. There is definitely a connection. The only quandary that I have that I'm going to share for you is how long, and you don't have to answer this for me, this is for you to answer for yourself. How long do you want to wait to give her the opportunity to do what she should be automatically doing already?
Correct.
And I'm going to put it like this. If you discern that you want to be her friend because you do have very strong feelings for her and you really do love her and you want her to be well, if you get to a place where you are able to just be that friend, then you have somebody lovely coming into your life. And what's fascinating to me is she looks totally different. Meaning totally different than the type that you're normally drawn to, totally different in personality, and yet you will find that you're so in sync that within a split second, you would be in a committed relationship. Just keep that in mind.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good time this coming weekend.
Yeah, God willing. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Isn't it funny? We want what we want. Meaning, how's the expression go? The heart wants what the heart wants when it wants it. And it's so true. And it doesn't matter if it's that chocolate ice cream with the cherry on it when we know, oh my gosh, I just ate so much. I can't. And yet it's there. So we want it. Or it is that person that we're drawn to, that we feel we have a connection to. What we have to identify for ourselves is not just the feeling, but take into consideration our whole being. Is that feeling for that other person something that gives value to both of us? Is it something that benefits both of us in the long run? Is it something that I can allow in my life and truly be comfortable with? And these are questions to check in with yourself. I often have clients that come into the office who are the most lovely beings, the most enigmatic, intelligent, vibrant, beautiful people, men and women, who really all they want is to have that great relationship. And instead, what they find is they have relationships that fulfill a need, but don't fulfill the need that they want fulfilled. And it's very difficult to take a look and say, wait a minute, what is it that is really important to me? I know somebody right now who has been with someone for years and years and years. The gentleman, in so many ways, is a grand gentleman, really and truly. And yet, he's got one foot in, one foot out at any given moment. Very difficult for someone when you are together for so many years and you still feel ambiguous about what does the future hold. It's important to check in with yourself. There is no criticism. There is no judgment. If you want to stay in that space and you feel that works for you, as they say in Hebrew, mazel tov. By the same token, if there is any gnawing at the back of your head that says, something's not right about this, what is it? Check in. And when I say check in, a lot of people are like, well, what does that mean, check in? It simply means ask yourself the questions that you don't want to ask. Is this working for me? That's a real easy one. Is this something I want to do for the next 20 years? Another easy one. Does this person have the capacity to love at the level that I need or that I desire or that I'm able to share? That one's a little tougher. The point is, you as an individual have the power and have the ability to discern for yourself what feels right. And again, I'm going to say, don't get caught up in details. We get bogged down with so much extraneous stuff, it's not even funny. And we have to learn how to be direct. For instance, if your dearest friend says to me, I met this great guy and he owns 3 businesses and he loves animals and he's a happy-go-lucky guy and I think he's perfect for you. And you say, what does he look like? And she says, he's such a great guy. You know right off the bat, there's something she's not telling you. And the same thing with the gents. Really, if your buddy says, hey, I've got this great girl for you, and you ask what she looks like, and they say she's so wonderful, she may be, but are you going to be attracted? Because you can be intellectually stimulated. You can be stimulated in a myriad of ways. If you're not stimulated in those areas that you personally need, then it's not going to work. Listen to your intuitive knowing. If someone says something to you and you think, sounds nice, but something doesn't feel right, listen to that. Because every time you listen, you will be guided in the right direction. Real quick, Psychic Gallery, Wednesday, August 1st. More information, please go online to HallyElise.com. That's HallyElise.com. I thank you. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.
Remember to tune in every Tuesday on WNN at 9 p.m. for more peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Hally Elise, Top 100 Psychic.